AITA for calling my grandpa ugly after he called me ugly? I usually wear patches at night to cover my pimples so that way during the day they're cleared up. Sometimes I'll wear them during the day too when I know I won't be going out on my days off. They're these cute little butterfly and sunflower ones, and sometimes I have to plaster them all over my face because I have breakouts. I wore a good bit of them covering the left side of my face tonight because I was having one of those breakouts and my grandfather said they made me look ugly. I asked him why he thought that it was necessary since I didn't ask for his opinion, and he told me he was going to give it anyway. I told him fine, okay, and that he looked ugly with his new haircut and I didn't like how it was parted. He got offended and started saying how he didn't want any drama, and I told him that he should have thought about it before calling me ugly for no reason. He also called me rude, but I feel like he shouldn't have provoked me in the first place. AITA? I probably could have been nicer about it, but I just didn't appreciate how he called me ugly. Update. Hello, all. I didn't expect this to blow up so much. Thank you all for your comments. I can't reply to all of you since there's so many, but I appreciate all of your words. My grandfather's always been the type to do the whole respect your elders thing because of the Bible. He's religious like my grandmother, while me, because of some experiences I've had with the religion, not so much. I have sat down and talked with him about how I don't appreciate his comments like that towards me, but he doesn't listen and says I should respect him more and stop taking it so seriously. He only apologized when I started crying and asked him why he thought it was okay to call me those things, but when I do he gets offended. I can see why some of you would think he's misogynistic, as I've read through a couple of comments about it, but he's not. I think he's just an old, stubborn man who's set in his ways and doesn't realize how much his words hurt others. Also, as much as he angers me about this stuff, please don't send death threats towards him or me for that matter. That shit's very uncalled for. I had to report a few of you for that. Thanks again. Welcome to Am I the Asshole? Please view our voting guide here, https://www.reddit.com/r/AmITheJerk_what.2019s_with_these_acronyms.3f_what_do_they_mean.3f_closing parenthesis, and remember to use only one judgment in your comment. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. Greater than 1, I called my grandfather, specifically his haircut, ugly after he insulted me out of the blue for having patches covering my face that help clear up my blemishes. 2, he said I was disrespectful to him. Help keep the sub engaging. #don't downvote assholes. Do upvote interesting posts. Click here for our rules. https://www.reddit.com/r/AmITheJerk/about/rules and click here for our FAQ. https://www.reddit.com/r/AmITheJerk/wiki/fac. #subreddit announcements. Follow the link above to learn more. I am a bot, and this action was performed automatically. Please contact the moderators of this subreddit, https://www.reddit.com/message/compose/?2=r. Am I the asshole? If you have any questions or concerns. Contest mode is 1.5 hours long on this post. NTA. I wore a good bit of them covering the left side of my face one night because I was having one of those breakouts and my grandfather said they made me look ugly. Who thinks it's okay to call someone ugly? Let alone a member of your own family. He got offended and started saying how he didn't want any drama. Then stop being a rude, disgraceful person. And maybe think that you should be supporting your grandchild. Some cultures think age equals wisdom. That would seem to apply on a case-by-case basis as opposed to the general assumption. Greater than who thinks it's okay to call someone ugly. Greater than let alone a member of your own family. Asian moms and aunties LMFAO. Really sorry. No one deserves to contend with that. Totally agreed. Asian parents, aunties. And maybe meant in a joking but real context, does make me think. We can't keep letting it slide at our own demise either. Elders deserve respect, so our culture says, but not at all costs, not at the cost of our own self-worth. Eventually we need to work on what about our culture is positive and what is not. Also white evangelical moms, grandmas and aunties. Or my dad. He looked at me one night and said, "Hey ugly." I responded with, "Hey fatso," because I thought we were kidding around. No, he was kidding and I was, apparently, serious, and my mom immediately asked if he was going to let me talk to him that way. And then he was mad at me the rest of the night. Because I was rude. Because he called me ugly. They can dish it out but they can't take it, can they? This is when you grab a pen and paper and make a list of their superficial flaws. Each item more petty and specific than the last, from hair down to shoes. In my 20s, I'd write them on bar napkins for negging pickup artist types. Their worst fear would be you reciting that shit in front of a crowd. Handing someone a list of what makes them unattractive is like loading a gun and then firing it into the ceiling without breaking eye contact. Greater than like loading a gun and then firing it into the ceiling without breaking eye contact. That is excellent. As a person with an Asian mom, I felt this in my chest. Just as easy to go and see with them as with anyone else. That's some hateful talk. I bet they wouldn't be missed very much. You are rude. The correct reply in this situation is, "Thanks, I learned that from you." It's definitely an age thing. It's like they get to a certain age and they yay right to say whatever the like and you have to put up with it. I had many an argument with my late mother over this very thing. Her favorite was to comment tea on people's weight, until I pointed out that she could do with losing a few pounds herself. Ops NTA. His age definitely has a thing to do with it. He's very old school. Removed. Yeah, standing up for yourself when someone insults you is total snowflake behavior. NTA. Old men used to be able to say anything to anyone with zero repercussions. They are now shocked to their core when people treat them the way they treat others. I had an old man who was arguing with me about every single thing I was doing as part of my volunteer work say, "I don't want to fight." Oh really? 'Cause you sure starting a bunch of shit. Of course my main crime was doing things while female. How dare you? Too true, we should stand up to them like op more. Especially old white men. This is not exclusive to old men. Old women are some of the nastiest people I've met. Not all of course. But an old and is who the post was about. I should have had no Tellman on the bingo card for this post. Gramps doesn't want drama? Then why did he start drama? NTA. If you don't want shit, then don't start shit. That's usually how it goes, unfortunately, whenever he brings something up and I reply back and he assumes I'm trying to stir up drama when he's the one who brought it up to begin with, upside down face. NTA, he's trying to implement a rules for thee but not for me thing. Rules where he gets to insult you and make fun of you, while you just shut up and take it. That's definitely not how life works. Usually when you call someone ugly, they aren't just going to stay quiet and take it. If you can, talk with your parents or another trusted adult about this, especially before he has the chance to add onto the story to make you look like the bad guy. Wow, I'm almost 40 and I still get breakouts, and I was thinking about buying the visible ones for overnight because they're cheaper than the invisible ones. Honestly, next time grandpa tells you you look ugly you should dead face. Yeah, they tell me looks are hereditary, and that I look a lot like you, so I guess that makes logical sense. Or say, yeah, you are ugly too. But I can remove them from my face. You have said, I inherited the ugly from you. Witty retort, but I swear the specific examples are going to drive him up the wall. I wish I could have used the line, "You gave me the ugly," when my relatives called me ugly growing up. To this day, whenever my father talks shit in any way about me, I just say, "I got it from you, dipshit." No, I don't like the guy. But I love my sister and her husband's family, so I will tolerate Dad. To a point. Rolling on the floor laughing. NTA. I just wish I'd said it to my grandfather when he said I was fat when I was 15, and a UK size 8, US size 4. Yeah, my dad used to point to my belly and call me fat when I was 18. I'm 6 feet tall and the same clothing size as you. I don't understand these men disappointed. I'm sorry to hear that. Even worse when you have to live with the person who said it to you. I'm sorry to hear that for you too, would have been even harder to hear that at 15. On the plus side, it taught me to do the opposite and talk kindly to people, adults, kids and teenagers. Even if you had been fat, that wouldn't excuse calling someone ugly to their face out of the blue, especially a teenager. I'm so sorry he said that to you. No one should be called fat like that. IDK what you look like, but you are beautiful heart. NTA. Don't start none, won't be none. NTA. Old men need to just shut the fuck up sometimes. Not every thought needs to be said. NTA. Sounds like Gramps was banking on the respect the elders even when they say rude AF stuff rule. Nope. Dish it, take it. Him and my grandmother are the exact same way. They love to diss it out because they believe in respect your elders but can't take it when I throw it back at them. Sounds like a them problem. Yeah, I love this new generation. Screw those old men who have gotten away with being abusive their whole lives, usually at the expense of women. NTA good he got a taste of his own medicine. NTA. Don't shoot unless you're prepared to get shot, as Sherlock Holmes said. Is this a case of an older person demonstrating that his filters have disappeared along with his youth, or has he always been so charming? NTA. I've known a few older people. Sure, there are a few conditions that can change a person's filter. Assholes tend to stay asshole and polite people tend to stay polite. If Op doesn't find these comments out of character, we can take a reasonably educated guess where grandfather falls. Dementia, Alzheimer's, sudden asshole with a moral low ground syndrome. I am 40 and I am on medication for acne because life sucks sometimes. Your grandfather is awful. Acne isn't something that you can always fix. It's a medical condition. NTA. It's the good old, if you can't take it, don't dish it. And screw the respect your elders BS. Respect is earned, not given, or a right. If you're being disrespectful, just be ready for me to be disrespectful back. NTA. He gave it and you gave it back. Don't give what you can't take. Old people are weird about pimple patches. I'm old-ish, 42, and I think they're great. Even in public. Why not cover up a pimple with a cute sticker? NTA. NTA. Good for you for matching his energy, but he's terrible. He not only couldn't handle his own medicine, he called you rude for echo his behavior. Yikes. Nah, he called himself rude. It's a shame he's also too stupid to understand that. NTA. Sounds like another case of, he can dish it out, but he can't take it. Always funny to me how people insisting on respect don't act in a way to induce respect. NTA. They don't like it when you feed them a taste of their own medicine. NTA. Old man has been around long enough to know better. NTA. Pops was being pretty rude, so why not clap back at woman shrugging light skin tone. NTA. If he wants to give opinions, he should be ready to receive them in return. He's worse than an asshole. That kind of cruelty cuts deep and lingers. I had a mother-in-law who would say truly thoughtless things to one of our girls about her weight. Those comments really hurt. NTA. The whole, respect your elders, thing only goes to an extent. I'm not going to just sit there and let someone make me feel bad about my looks. I'm glad people are starting to put others in their place. Being old isn't a free pass to be a jerk. NTA. Talk shit, get hit. NTA. Because he shouldn't be dishing out what he can't take. What did he expect? No, you are not. It is hard having acne. He is a man and men do not get what it's like being a woman. Also, if he can dish it out, he should be able to take it. I would call him ugly again. We don't know OP's gender. LMAO. Well done. NTA. If he didn't want to get called out, then he shouldn't have gotten ugly. NTA. He didn't like getting a taste of his own medicine. Too bad. NTA. I'm proud of you for standing up for yourself and laying out the facts. I wish I had the gumption to do this when I was your age. Pat yourself on the back and keep advocating for your right to be treated with respect. He's supposed to be a loving, supportive person in your life, not your tormentor. Your grandpa played a stupid game and got a stupid prize. NTA. NTA. I applaud you for doing something I'm frankly too scared to do. My grandparents always have to give their unsolicited opinion in really rude ways. You're too heavy, too skinny, you need a girlfriend, but I'm reluctant to flip the script because it's our culture that elders are to be listened to. If they weren't so supportive in other ways, and I know they care a crap ton, I'd have an easier time pushing back, but they don't have much time left and I want to send them off feeling respected and loved for all the hard work they've done for us. I'm sorry for what you're going through and I understand completely where you're coming from. You're completely valid for how you feel. Red heart. Happy cake day by the way. NTA. Don't start none, won't be none. Your acne will clear up. He's ugly on the inside, and there's no patch for that. NTA. You're not the asshole. He's the hemorrhoid, by which I mean he's next to, and probably smells like an asshole, but whose function only causes pain. Assholes are much too important to our digestive processes to give him such a compliment. Let him know that you will surely dance on his grave headstone and piss on his gravestone. God, I love this generation. Good for you. He was acting ugly and you called him out. Bet he'll think twice. You're not the bad guy here. Defend yourself. Family should support, not insult. Don't tolerate disrespect from anyone. Boomers think they have to be respected without having to be respectable. NTA. Good for you for standing up for yourself. My mom has issues with her perfectly normal ears because an aunt deemed it necessary to tell her when she was a girl, her ears were sticking out. My mom is 81 now and never got over it. I wish she would have told the aunt off like you did your grandpa instead of taking it silently. Obviously NTA. People when they get treated the way they treat others, greater than astonished face. NTA, next time he says something respond with, thanks grandpa for emotionally abusing me, so appreciated from a pariah that's supposed to love me, and walk away. Repeat every time, and in front of others. NTA, he knows why you have those patches and wanted to ruin your day for no reason. May I recommend beta-carotene? I had horrible breakouts starting when I was about 10. When I was 16 I had to see a dermatologist about a different condition and he prescribed high doses of water-soluble vitamin A. All the years of various skin cleansers, etc. had not done anything to solve the problem. About 2 months after I started the vitamin A, one day my mom looked at me and said, I have never seen your skin so clear. Made all the difference. I got to talking to a health food guy I was in college and he said, a pimple never had a chance since I was taking so much vitamin A. It's not necessarily a good idea because it does build up, but you may have a deficiency like I did. Forgot about your grandfather. He started it, but as you grow up, you may want to decide that just because someone starts something with you doesn't mean you have to escalate it. NTA though, makes me wonder how bad his haircut is. I will look into it. Thank you. I said it out of anger for him calling me ugly and told him later on I didn't really think his haircut was that ugly. It just made me mad how he can insult me but get offended when I've had enough of it and insult him back. Automod ******. Thanks for posting. This comment is a copy of your post so readers can see the original text if your post is edited or removed. This comment is not accusing you of copying anything. Read this https://www.reddit.com/r/amithishole/wiki/fact#wiki_post_deletion before contacting the mod team. https://www.reddit.com/message/compose?mark 2FR%2FMethys******. I usually wear patches at night to cover my pimples so that way during the day they're cleared up. Sometimes I'll wear ham during the day too when I know I won't be going out on my days off. They're these cute little butterfly and sunflower ones and sometimes I have to plaster them all over my face because I have breakouts. I wore a good bit of them covering the left side of my face one night because I was having one of those breakouts and my grandfather said they made me look ugly. I asked him why he thought that it was necessary since I didn't ask for his opinion and he told me he was going to give it any. I told him fine, okay, and that he looked ugly with his new haircut and I didn't like how it was parted. He got offended and started saying how he didn't want any drama and I told him that he should have thought about it before calling me ugly for no reason. He also called me rude but I feel like he shouldn't have provoked me in the first place. AITA? I probably could have been nicer about it but I just didn't appreciate how he called me ugly. I am a bot and this action was performed automatically. Please contact the moderators of this subreddit, message, compose, to =r, am I the asshole? If you have any questions or concerns. No. AITA. NTA. On a side note, where do you get these patches and do they really work? I've been wanting something like this to exist for ages. I got them from TJ Maxx. They are super effective. There was a poster NYT article a few days ago. I skimmed it and don't remember, but it sounded like those may not work so well. May want to try just a regular skin routine and spot treatment. Can always ask PCP for advice if you have one available. With the grandpa, he's an asshole a million times over. Tread carefully though, if you depend on a roof there. Found it, apparently the message is to beware of which you choose. NYT Pimple Patches article. http:// do pimple patches work? https://www.nytimes.com/2024/05/live/pimple-patches.html Schmied equals nightcore-android-share closing parenthesis. NTA. NTA. If he does it again, look him dead in the eyes and say, I guess it runs in the family. Thanks a lot, y'all ugly fuck. Fight fire with fire. NTA, but also don't let one comment cloud your relationship with him. Find some common respect between you. If he can't do that, then you are better off without that relationship anyway. Lol def NTA. Is he your blood relative? Next time say, since I have your genes, it's your fault I'm ugly. Thank goodness I didn't inherit your ugly personality, too. NTA. AITA. But if you don't already, try a daily skincare routine. It might help reduce breakouts. Lol, you returned serve and he didn't like it. Tell him yes because I take after you. Grandpa is an asshole. And he's ugly, too. NTA. Funny how PPL never want the drama they start. NTA. Grandpa boomer who thinks just being honest is a praiseworthy trait. FAFO with the golden rule. Tell your grandpa, if you can't run with the big dogs, sit on the porch with the pups. Sue NTA. NTA. Just a random thought about one way to handle it. I would have treated it as joke and said, hey, let's get old photos of you out at my same age and then ask everyone to vote who is the ugliest. Best case is you outed him as rude but cheerfully playing along if you are voted ugliest, which is highly doubtful if your family is cool. Or none will participate and he will get the shame he deserves by their reactions. Even if you are voted ugly, it's dumb. Most likely though is he would beat a hasty retreat. Though cliché, we are all have beauty outside and inside and your outer beauty issue is temporary, his maybe not so much. LMFAO NTA, another classic case of play stupid games. Nor should he. Yes, respect your elders, but sometimes you need to call them on their BS. Don't dish it if you can't take it, grandpa. NTA. At least you picked on something that he can change, and will change itself over time anyway. Smiley face. Grandpa is a self-centered prick. The patches sound super cute. Smiling face with hearts. NTA, well done for pushing back. AITA. NYA. Grandpa's fine with drama as long as he's holding the tea stirring stick. The mom in me says maybe it would have been better to bring this to a parent and let them put the smack down. But Gramps definitely had a kick to the cane coming. You have every right to defend yourself. Don't let anyone disrespect you, especially family. If I said anything like that to my granddaughters, I would sleep with the fishes. Nasty old man. NTA. NTA. Why are you upset? You taught me to give unsolicited rude opinions even if I'm not asked. AITA. Under the don't start none, won't be none accords. Call him rude, too. NTA. I've just watched a clip of an interview with Taylor Swift where she talks about this. When women react, appropriately, to bad male behavior, they are accused of being the rude or difficult ones. Nah, you're NTA here. NTA. He is He is an awful person to say something like that to you. Avoid him as much as you can. He got exactly what he deserved. NTA. One day, my acne will disappear, but your character will never change. NTA. I would totally start commenting on his looks from now on. Like how his shirt seems like it has not been ironed properly or the color of his trousers does not work well with his eyes. him looking quite pale or obviously having forgotten to wash his face. He is a fan of not asked for judgment of folks' appearance? He can have that. AITA. Don't dish it out if you can't take it. Removed. Your comment has been removed because it violates Rule 1. Be civil. https://www.reddit.com/r/AmITheJerk/about/rules/closing parenthesis. Further incidents may result in a ban. Why'd I have to be civil in a sub about assholes? https://www.reddit.com/r/AmITheJerk/wiki/fact closing parenthesis. Message the mods. https://www.reddit.com/message/compose?to=r/AmITheJerk if you have any questions or concerns. I use hydrocolloid dots, they're great for healing open wounds. Ignore the pissy old man. If you're getting acne mostly on one side, consider whether the soap you use on your pillowcase might be causing it or whether you should change it out more often. Skincare addiction might also be helpful. AITA. Don't you love rude grandpas? NTA. This is a generational thing where people from your grandpa's generation, likely boomer, felt like they could say whatever they wanted and it was fine. It's not fine. He should have kept his opinion to himself. Your retort was unexpected, and caught him off guard, and that's why he defaulted to accusing you of drama. He was the rude one calling you ugly. You just called him out. Next time it happens, respond the same way but add, "Those are inside thoughts, Grandpa. They stay in your head. No. Every thought you have needs to come out of your mouth." Quote. NTA. Don't start no shit, won't be no shit. Grandpa just had to voice his unsolicited, rude insult of an opinion and got back what he gave. He'll recover. NTA. Little kids are indulged by adults. Adults are treated with respect by other adults. Teenagers? Well, some are terribly rude to teens. I experienced this myself because I am exceptionally tall. Good for you for carrying out Grandpa and for giving him a taste of his own medicine when he stood his ground. NTA, he deserved it. My dad is a boomer and wouldn't dare say such a thing to any of his grandchildren. Your grandpa was a jerk and has to deal with the consequences. If my grandpa called me ugly, I would have told him I got it from his side of the family. But that's just me, smiley face. NTA. Well, you had to get it from someone in the family. NTA. You should have said, "Well, thanks. I can fix my ugly, but can you fix your attitude?" I swear old folks think they can talk to you any old kind of way and get away with it because they are elders. But when you give it back to them, you're the rude one. Sorry, Rupert, this ain't Shady Pines. Everybody can get it. But NTA. Try Differin for your skin. It's inexpensive and works. NTA. You were right, he shouldn't have provoked you. He was having a good time needling you. I guess it stung when you turned that needle around. And don't you love people who say they don't want drama after they've started it? NTA. Don't want none, don't start none. NTA. Lol, classic case of someone who dishes it out but can't take it. NTA. NTA. Disrespectful elders don't deserve respect. NTA. If I get into one of these back and forths, I say, "You started the conversation, I'm just keeping up." Name what's happening. Grandfather says, "You're rude." Then reply, "Of course, I'm responding to * your rudeness." One time I had a patient swearing at me as I was doing physio, and when he said, "What the fuck do you want me to do next?" I replied, "I want you to sit on this fucking chair," in ever so calm a speaking voice. I told my colleague, I'm speaking to him in a language he understands. It gave him pause and he at least stopped swearing. I suppose he heard how bad it sounded, or perhaps he was shocked, I don't know, but it worked. NTA. Typical boomer behavior, thinking they can insult someone and then act indignant when they get some back. Man shrugging, medium light skin tone. NTA. You reap what you sow. He didn't like getting a taste of his own medicine and it sounds like he needs more of it. NTA. And he was the rude one, so he's gaslighting you too in order to excuse his insensitive, rude and ignorant comment. NTA. Of course, he can dish it out, but can't take it. Lol. With his demeanor, I am guessing this the first time he experienced someone giving him a taste of what's it like to be the receiving end of such words. It's about time he did. How else will the old man learn about how it feels? Don't let him turn this around you in any way. You matched his energy. That's it. NTA. NTA. Old people can sure dish it out, but when it's flipped back on them with the same energy they act like you've stabbed them in the heart. Lol, that's the American way of thinking. Freedom for me but not for thee. These people think they are free to express their opinions, but the moment someone else expresses theirs they get offended in a rather ironic way, rolling on the floor laughing. NTA. NTA. A lot of people here saying he called you ugly, so it's fair to call him ugly back, but that's not actually what happened. It's worse. He didn't say you were ugly, he said that the patches made you look ugly. The difference is that he thinks you owe it to him to try to tailor your appearance to present yourself attractively to him. You, in the privacy of your home, chose to apply skincare patches that you feel are beneficial to you. You should never have to think for a second about what your family members will find you less attractive in these circumstances. When you're home with your family is when you get to relax, take care of yourself, let your guard down and not worry about how you're presenting. Your grandfather's comment is misogynistic, objectifying and creepy, and I'm disgusted on your behalf. He shouldn't have insulted you and you shouldn't have insulted him. But next time tell him to keep his mouth shut or you'll fuck with his pills and I bet you his mouth will stay shut. No. It might be helpful to talk with your grandpa about how his comments make you feel, as it could lead to a more understanding relationship. NTA. Do yourself a favor. Stop messing around and see a dermatologist. Get a prescription for Accutane. It will change your life. Maybe his choice of words wasn't wise. He wasn't saying you were ugly, he was saying the patches on your face made you look ugly. I'm not going to call you Ta though. That would still be unpleasant to hear, but maybe coming back with an insult wasn't the best response. Perhaps you both had an A moment. You should have said why he looked ugly loudly crying. Your grandpa wasn't being kind, but I bet that unless you sat him down and told him what the patches are for that he has no idea and thinks you're just applying them for the fashion statement and he's allowed to not like fashion. Neither of you should have called the other ugly because you just shouldn't be doing that to another person. I can't imagine a situation where it's appropriate to call another person ugly, particularly to their face. Generally when people get older they get crankier. It's not a guarantee but it's a strong likelihood. Further, sometimes when people get older they start to get dementia, Alzheimer's disease and other things. These things may gradually morph them from a kind lovable soul into somebody who is jailhouse nasty. Consider that if you're sick you might end up throwing up on your mom. You certainly don't mean anything by it. But because you're sick it happens. It may be that grandpa's losing it. And ask your parents about it. But it may be that they don't want to recognize that it's happening. Obviously, it's not okay for anyone to deliberately throw up on you or mock your appearance like that. But you need to find out if grandpa's okay before you go taking it personally. Because it might just be the crazy talking. Further, sometimes when people get older they start to get dementia, Alzheimer's disease and other things. Right, so this is called ableism, and it's not a great look. Grandpa's an no evidence in the post that deteriorating cognitive function made him this way or the implication that this is just what dementia looks like. I see you trying to qualify it in your post but no, just no. Also, grandpa may be an but that does not give you the right to infantilize him, it might just be the ZY talking, yikes. I'm really confused how you made the leap from recognizing that someone may have Alzheimer's into ableism. If someone has a mental illness such as Alzheimer's then they can't appreciate what they are doing, don't have control. And are not responsible for what they do. The law recognizes that. You can go online right now and look it up, a healthy brain and an Alzheimer's brain side by side. The Alzheimer's brain is clearly deteriorated substantially. They just can't hold it together anymore. That's just a fact. It's like saying that somebody without legs can't walk. It's just a fact. In any case, I don't see how disputing this obvious point helps the situation any. Or are you just upset because I said maybe it wasn't okay to yell at someone who's sick? I don't know. Greater than I'm really confused how you made the leap from recognizing that someone may have Alzheimer's into ableism. There is zero evidence Grandpa has dementia. Your comment is a blind guess, and it paints everyone with dementia as an AH. Literally the only thing you have is, Grandpa is old and rude, and from that you've made a completely unfounded diagnosis. It is not an obvious point at all, or a fact. You don't in fact know anything and you are painting a damn broad brush over a lot of people. This condition. That is what makes it ableism. I am a literal mental health therapist, and this type of behavior is perhaps the most despicable on Reddit, which is saying something. Armchair experts diagnosing people in stories with mental illnesses and then using that to claim they aren't responsible for their actions. People with mental health issues, actual people, not randos you've invented a backstory for, do not require you to absolve them of responsibility. If you truly were a mental health therapist, you would know that Alzheimer's cannot be definitively diagnosed without an autopsy. Grandpa is acting crankier. This is one of the indicators of people getting Alzheimer's. That's more than zero evidence as you claim. I made it abundantly clear that Alzheimer's was only one of the potential causes of his condition. So you're not reading very well, or you're just deliberately making up that part of your rant. You know confabulation is another Alzheimer's symptom. I think you want an excuse to be angry at someone. I think you want an excuse to vent at someone. I had a father like you. He would come home frustrated and want to take his rage out on anyone in reach. I think you and he might just be kindred spirits. In any case, I maintain what I already said. I'm not going to restate it because you didn't read it the first time. Grandpa might be sick, and that might explain everything. As for you, I don't know, try some Xanax or something. Chill out. I'll give you the last word because that's what my dad always wanted. Greater than chill out. You don't seem to understand the problem, so I'm going to try this one more time. Ableism is not just being a dick to disabled people. It also refers to people who try to be saviors and act like, well, this person clearly, not actually clear at all, has X condition, therefore they can't be held responsible. That is ableism, and it's done by well-meaning people who think they're helping when they're doing the opposite. Grandpa does not need you to save him, and if he actually has that condition, it will become very apparent to OP's family without your guesswork. In the meantime, your comment is more along the lines of, oh geez, you should feel guilty op because Grandpa might have this condition on the basis of literally nothing at all. How about let's not do that, and OP's family can get an actual doctor to look into it if they so choose. As opposed to randos with unresolved trauma making shit up. As far as credibility as an MHT goes, if you were my client, I wouldn't be so harsh. I'd be compassionate and get you to reflect and consider transference and etc. etc. But you're not my client, so shut the fuck up and stop diagnosing strangers on the internet. I don't think we should medicalize being a dick. Deleted. Greater than, however, maybe your granddad was looking out for you? Perhaps he thought that's some sort of makeup trend and he doesn't want you to follow a trend that makes you look less appealing than you actually are. Greater than, I think he took it badly because you said it out of spite. You attribute the best possible motive to the old man and the worst possible motive to op. Greater than, almost like a challenge to him. Yeah, a challenge to not insult people randomly. Greater than, next time he makes a harsh remark, maybe ask him why he thinks that thing and go from there. Next time he cannot insult someone as the opening in a conversation and op won't need to say anything. The grandfather should be adult enough to learn how to talk to someone without insulting them. YTA. You do know that there are clear ones, right? I don't understand how you don't see you're in a shoki. Greater than, you do know that there are clear ones, right? You do know that that's op's business, right? And that op said they only wear these when no going out? Greater than, I don't understand how you don't see you're in a shoki. I don't understand how you don't understand the old man could have either kept his mouth shut, or said something that wasn't insulting. YTA. You hurt your poor grandpa's feelings over some stickers on your face which don't even really relate to your appearance. Poor grandpa. What loudly crying, loudly crying, loudly crying. Grandpa didn't want conflict, but he started conflict. Op is NTA. Imagine grandpa looking in the mirror, sad because of his haircut now. I remember when my uncle told me he thought he was ugly, it killed my soul. Poor grandpa, I feel so bad for him. Loudly crying, loudly crying, loudly crying. Imagine op looking in the mirror, sad because of their acne. Same thing. Removed. Read it. He insulted the thing that helps their acne, hence making op feel bad that they use these things to help with acne. And anyway, doesn't matter, he still called them ugly. Removed. You are either an 8-year-old or high on weed. IDK, which. Ugly is an insult. Insult equal bad. Make sense yet? Removed. I'm literally on the road to publishing my own book. You're the one not understanding. He said that she was ugly with the stickers. I've read some horrible books. That literally means nothing. I am unsure as to why you keep repeating this when I don't disagree. It still isn't the same as saying someone is ugly on their own. Removed. Doesn't matter what it is, he still called op ugly. Why are you talking about him like he's a small child? Loudly crying. How does calling someone ugly mean well? Just a reminder, you're a Reddit folk too. Reddit users and Reddit folk are different. He insulted the stickers, not the acne. He is a small child. Poor grandpa. Not really, still all people on Reddit. Even so, the stickers are to help the acne. Direct connection. He is not loudly crying. He is a fully grown man and I'm kinda convinced you're high or SMTH. Grandpas are not fully grown men, they deteriorate into a childlike state. You should understand this. He probably meant it in a jest way, meaning that 3 look better without the stickers. It isn't a directly connection. You are enraging me. Poor grandpa, I feel so bad. Grandpas are fully grown men. They've been through life. And even then, just because someone is a child doesn't mean they should get away with calling someone ugly just because ye child. Doesn't matter. It is a direct connection. Acne. Something that helps with acne. Is it making sense to your peanut-sized brain now? If you're getting that mad, then that's just funny. Might want to get that checked out. Grandpa had it coming. Removed. But he did call her ugly. He didn't say the stickers were ugly. He said she was ugly with the stickers. My grandfather said the stickers made me look ugly. That is not the same as saying that you are ugly. Yes, he said she was ugly with the stickers, but that isn't as bad as saying someone is ugly, and he likely didn't mean it like that. Jesus Christ. I'm done arguing with someone who has the mentality of a 7-year-old. Bye. If you can't understand, saying something makes you ugly isn't on the same level as saying you are inherently ugly. I'm scared for you. Okay. I'm crying thinking about my grandpa who just died. He could have said something like this, but grandpas don't really understand modern language and they say things in a maybe tone-deaf way, but they mean well. Just try to think about their perspective. Sorry your grandpa died, but what does this have to do with modern language? Where did that come from? And again, it doesn't matter. Ugly is still an insult. You are dense and aren't even trying to understand my point. Saying something makes someone ugly doesn't mean that they are ugly. This is not hard. Call me dense, idgaf. Still an insult, op is still NTA. You can have your opinion. I disagree with it. Hopefully you grow up and realize how other perspectives are shaped by their age, background, culture, and sex. There is more to decipher from this than simply reading text of what the grandpa said. Once you start to understand other people's perspectives and how they communicate, your world will widen massively. People are not linear. Language is not linear. Tone is not linear. It's scary how so many people fail to understand this. What happened to thorough analysis of conversations? It seems to have flown out the window thanks to quick communication. Alas, you will never understand. So young and already so definitive. Sad crying.